How do we stop thinking about food all day long? Now, maybe you are like me, and we grew up in an environment and in a family that encouraged snacking. When we go to school, you have your break at 10 o'clock in the morning and a break at 2 in the afternoon besides lunch. And so you eat breakfast, then you have your break, then you have lunch, then you have your snack, another snack, then you have supper, and then you have a snack before bed. Now, this wasn't always consistent for me growing up. It wasn't always like that, but I certainly did that with my kids when they were younger, because we were told by many people that we need to have food every 2 or 3 hours. And when kids are young, they've got the small stomach and they can't eat enough. So you better start, you better feed them every few hours. I did that for so long myself. I did that for my kids. I was, you know, constantly basically giving them food. So it's no wonder that we think about food a lot when it's such a big part of our life. Thinking about food, buying food, shopping for food, cooking food, it's such a big part of our life. And of course, if we don't eat, we die. We have to eat. But is there a way to not have to think about food as much as we have in the past? And I found a way, and many people have found a way through intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting means we eat at a certain time, we don't eat other times. And if we are not eating, then we don't have to think about the food so much. If you're going to only eat twice in a day, so I talk about this in another video, 2MAD, 2MAD means 2 meals a day, which literally means you only eat twice. It doesn't mean you eat and then you have, a snack, and then you eat and then you have another snack. It says literally you only consume food and flavored beverages twice in that day. And if you're doing OMAD, OMAD, 1 meal a day, it's literally once. So you don't have to think about food for the other 23 hours. Otherwise, other than cooking or if you need to go to the grocery store. But it really gives your brain a break. It was really revolutionary to me when I started doing this, because I wasn't having to think, oh, what am I going to have for my snack? Does it have enough protein in it? Is it too much sugar? And, now the snack is ending. Oh, and now I got to start thinking about the supper or preparing. And food was on my mind so much more. Also, of course, when you're eating a lot of sugar and carbs and breads, the sugar and the carbs crave themselves. The more you have, the more you want. So because I incorporated both intermittent fasting and low carb, and I really strongly recommend that, and I know for sure I would not have had success if I only tried one or the other, because I incorporated both of them together. And when you lower your carbs, you will not crave as much, which means you're not thinking about it as much. Your brain isn't saying, hello, feed me, because I need more sugar. I need a sugar rush. So when you take away the carbs or lower the carbs, you will not also think about food. So it's not just needing to create, needing to make the meal, needing to make the snack. It's also your brain isn't wanting it. Both the habit of intermittent fasting and also lowering the carbs, those, I don't know if I'm making sense here, those two things together, the habits where you say, I'm not going to eat at certain times and I am going to eat at certain times, and then lowering your carbs will help you with that habit. There, that's the thing. Lowering the carbs will help you with the habit of intermittent fasting. That's why I really think they have to go together. Now, I'm on a Facebook group, which is quite large. There's lots and lots of people on there talking about this kind of a thing, and also talking about, the different diets that you can be on: vegan diet, the vegetarian diet, carnivore diet, paleo, keto, all these different kinds of diets. And everybody's body's different, and I believe strongly that people can be on different diets and still be successful on them, and I don't think we should judge people for it. I also think that these different diets don't always bring into play this idea of the thinking about the food so much can jeopardize, your weight loss. Because if you're basically saying, okay, I need to eat less so my insulin is not spiking, and I can go into the freezer, which is an analogy I talk about in another video, go into the freezer, the fridge is empty, I can go to the freezer and start using up that stored fat. You can't do that if you are doing this multiple meals a day, thinking about food all the time. Like, you're going to drive yourself crazy. So if you keep up that idea of having multiple meals, multiple snacks, eat 5 times a day, eat, all of that kind of a thing, I don't think this would work. Some of those other diets have that built into them to eat more times in the day. It's not necessarily part of the diet, but people will incorporate that into it. Where if you have, let's say you're eating keto, well, you've got to eat a lot of protein to make up for the carbs, and a lot of fat and protein to make up for the carbs, because you've switched your body to be a fat burning. It's really, really hard to eat that amount of food to nourish your body in one meal a day. So some people I can see on the keto diet, you'll do the keto snacks. So this is where I'm talking about, not thinking about food all the time, but you might jeopardize yourself because you're having the keto snacks. And that's what I could see myself doing that. And I tried it. And sure enough, I treated them like a regular snack. Yes, they have lower carbs, but there was something about it that I was wanting to snack on them and not have them actually during the meal. So I'd make fat bombs, which I learned how to make in 2012, 10 years ago, on the paleo diet. And, they're coconut oil and coconut and nuts, just like lots of fat in them. Well, I would snack on those, even though they're low carb, even though, they're healthy for you, but I would snack on them, which nullified the intermittent fasting part, because I'm eating multiple times a day because I'm snacking on them. So you can jeopardize, or you can sabotage, that's the word, sabotage your intermittent fasting when you are on some of these diets that, have these healthy snacks. Then we're still just thinking about food a lot, and it's going to make you want to crave more. So when I started to realize this intermittent fasting part and the low carb part, then I would say, oh, I really want that keto snack. I'm going to have it as part of my meal. And that changed my thinking about it, in terms of then I'm not thinking about that snack at 2 hours after my meal. I'm going to have it as part of my meal. So it's not a snack. It's sort of like just part of the meal. Okay, this was a long video. I don't like doing them too long. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. And I appreciate you watching these. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, and share it with a friend or a family member if you think that they can benefit from this, and comment below and let me know your thoughts on this. Thanks so much for watching.